keep it 100 because it's time for Hub's Huddle Podcast. Listen to the man that talks sports from football to basketball 24/7, 365. He is known as the average Joe that knows more than average about sports.
What's up, man?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host, Hub.
Man, what's up, everybody? It's Sunday night, February 24th, 2019. Talk a little bit about the Alliance of American Football. Man, they're 3 weeks in, and so far, man, it's still a good product on TV. You got a lot of, current players tweeting, talking about it. The players that are in the NFL. This right here is becoming, something great. We all know what happened at the week one. They needed the basically like an emergency, to get the funds for the players. So one of the owners gave up, $250 million, so the players could get paid. But that's pretty awesome, man. It seems like so far, man, these guys right now, man, they are coming on strong. I mean, it's still a good product. The games are awesome. Today we had the San Diego Fleet, beat the San Antonio Commanders. That was the game that was just on, tonight on the NFL Network. The early game today was Birmingham Iron. They had improved to 3-0, over, the Atlanta Legends, who are 0-3 right now on this season so far. Yesterday's games, you got the Orlando Apollos at 3-0. They took down the Memphis Express that is 0-3. And the Salt Lake Stallions, they went ahead and got a win over the Arizona Hotshots, man. It's two undefeated teams right now in this league, both of them in the Eastern Conference, which is the Orlando Apollos and the Birmingham Iron. And it's setting up for a big game in week 5, when the Orlando Apollos come to Legion Field and take on the Birmingham Iron. That'll be a Saturday game at 2 o'clock on Bleacher Report Live. But in order for these guys to stay undefeated, next week, the Orlando Apollos will take their 3-0 record, going up against the Salt Lake Stallions. That'll be next Saturday at 4 p.m. on Bleacher Report Live. And the Birmingham Iron gets the Sunday game at 4. They'll be taking on the San Antonio Commanders at Legion Field. That's a home game for them, and that'll be on the CBS Sports Network. So hopefully both of these teams, man, they get the W, man. They lead up to a big game in week 5. That'll be on March 9th at 2 p.m. On the Bleacher Report Live. Check that out. But like I said, man, so far, man, you got Trent Richardson, the leading back for the Birmingham Iron. He already got the most touchdowns on the year with a 6. He had 3 of them. This dude had 3 TDs to a day against the Atlanta Legend, which improves him to 6 on the year. The Orlando Apollos, man, I like their defense, man. Their defense is pretty good. These dudes, man, listen. You got Charles Johnson there, their leading receiver with 305 yards. You got Garrett Gilbert. He's leading with 827 yards passing. This right here, man. Like I said, this is the new league. Fresh. These guys looking for a second chance to make it back to the NFL, but it's also an exciting product. You putting something out here. We still get football. Like I said, Orlando Apollo quarterback Garrett Gilbert, he's leading the league right now with 827 yards, passing. And then you have, as far as the Russian leaders, Jaquan Gardner, who we had just saw in the late game tonight. He has 281 yards on the year, and Zach Stacy's right behind him with 188. And you got your elite leading receivers, like I said, Orlando Apollos with Charles Johnson, 305 yards on the year so far. This right here, man, like I said, the league is starting to heat up now, starting to pick up. More and more people are getting in, starting to view it. So hopefully, this is a product that's going to continue, to keep going. After this year, we'll get like a season 2, and a couple. We got the XFL gonna be starting soon, and they're gonna be revamped and seeing. Hopefully they don't fall flat like how they did the first time. Hopefully it's more of a a solid product, kind of like how this is, with the AAF. But this right here is great, man. Like I said, you got these 8 teams in this league right here, and they're battling it out, to get, towards, the playoffs and, ultimately the championship. The playoffs start after week 10, so that's over in April. Actually, playoffs are starting on April 20th, 420. But it'd be one game on Saturday and one game on Sunday, 421, which leads to the following week. You have the championship, it's 427. I believe that's NFL draft weekend, if I'm not mistaken. So it's setting up to be pretty nice, man. I'm looking forward to it, and it's a great product that they're putting on, the AAF. So shout out to them, man. This is good. I'm very intrigued in watching, even when I, like last week, I caught bits and pieces of, some of the games in week 2. I ended up catching the highlights on their website. It's pretty awesome. You go on there, you get the recap of the full game, you get to watch the full game. But this weekend here, I was able to sit down and actually watch. I saw the Orlando Apollos last night, and I also saw the Birmingham Iron this afternoon, as well as the San Diego Fleet game, that came on tonight. Is, like I said, it's a pretty good product. What they're putting out here, these players are playing hard. You've seen a little injury, but it was like cramping in the Orlando Apollos game. One of the defensive ends. But like I said, man, this right here, a good league. Solid start for these guys. Hopefully these guys that get picked up, for a second chance in the NFL. Like we're seeing, like with Trent Richardson, he didn't have that many yards. They had I think it was 47, but he, when they got down there and they needed him punching in, he went in there three times, and that's all that matters. Like if this was a fantasy league, the points would be booming right now for Trent. It's good to see him, rebirthing his career. As you all remember, he played for Cleveland and was basically, he was pretty good in Cleveland. Then he just fizzled out a little bit, went to Indianapolis, and it was just the ball was just going downhill. I think he ended up last playing in Oakland or somewhere, and it was just that was just the end of it. So I was glad that he's playing for Birmingham Iron and is trying to get that second shot to get back to the league. It'll be awesome for him. And it'd be awesome for the Trent Richardson fans out there. Remember he used to play for Alabama, former Alabama standout, under Nick Saban, in that college, domination over there, but it's a pretty good product. Like I said, if you haven't checked it out yet, you might want to, get into it. It's only been 3 weeks. I don't have a team yet. I'm still, looking at this and checking it out. I might not even have a team for this. I might just go into this with open mind and just look at all the teams, and try not to throw a slight of favoritism. So, next week is be week 4. So the week 4 matchups, you got the Orlando Apollos. They'll be taking on the Salt Lake Stallions. That's at 4 p.m. on Saturday on the Bleacher Report Live site. Check that out. And then the night game for next Saturday night will be the San Diego Fleet. They'll be taking on the Memphis Express, and that'll be on the NFL Network. And then the Sunday games, you got the San Antonio Commanders. They'll be taking on the Birmingham Iron on CBS Sports Network at 4 p.m. on Sunday, March 3rd. And then the night game next Sunday night will be the Atlanta Legends take on the Arizona Hot Shots. That'll be on the NFL Network at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. All those games are at Eastern Time. So I said, man, just check it out, man. We got a couple more weeks left. like I said, they go up to 10 weeks, and then it's the playoffs, and then it's the championship. So, it leads us all the way up into, we get through NFL free agency. Then we get to the draft, and, the championship game for the AAF is on the final day of the NFL draft. So, basically, it'd probably be the night game. So after we get done watching the draft, probably tune on into, watching the AAF championship. And right now, by the way things looking, man, it's either going to be, the Birmingham Iron or the Orlando Apollos representing the Eastern Conference coming out. So, hey, it's looking good. And the leaders in the Western Conference is the San Diego Fleet. They're 2-1. They're actually, tied up with the Arizona Hotshots. They're also 2-1 as well. And then you got the the San Antonio Commanders and the Salt Lake Stallions. They're both at 1-2. So it's this right here is going to be great. I'm looking forward to it leading up. And that's it for me tonight, guys. Just want to give you guys a recap on what's going on in the AAF. If you haven't checked it out, like I said, man, make sure you check it out. Give me your feedback, man. Let me know if you like this league. Is this something that you're interested in? It's more football for us, so it's great if you love football. This is something that you might want to check out. Nothing else on TV, like who wants to sit back and watch the Oscars tonight? I'm tuning into football, man. I'm good. I can hear about who won the Oscars and the movies and stuff. Tomorrow on the news or something. Rather watch something that I'm more interested in, which is football. So that this is pretty good. No other sport is on tonight that I know. I mean, it's probably a couple NBA games, but nothing that's televised in my area. So I'm watching this, and it's a great product, man. So I'm going to continue to keep watching. I'm looking forward to next weekend. I'm going to just settle down. I'm going to catch all 4 games next weekend, making it my point, some way, somehow. Or, even if I don't catch them live, I'll just catch the whole recap. So, but that's it for me, guys. Until next time, man, thank you for joining. Thank you for listening. And if you're a new listener, man, welcome to the show. Like I said, we're going to talk sports, football, basketball, get into boxing, MMA. I might even throw in some WWE, man. It's almost WrestleMania season, and I have just started, getting back into it. It ain't the same as, when I was, into it heavy, with, like Hulk Hogan's and Macho Man, and even leading up to like The Rock and Stone Cold. This is a different, generation right now. Like the only guy I really like is like AJ Styles, really. But other than that, I might just talk that. Maybe we might talk. I might do a little podcast. We talk a little old school wrestling and compare it to this new generation here today. And see which one is better, man. It might just be, a little opinionated. I know a couple guys that, that watch wrestling, heavy, today. So maybe I get these guys on the show and we can just, talk about, the old days and up until now. So that's it for me tonight, guys. Hope you all have a blessed night going to work. Have a great week at work, fellas and ladies. Thank you all for joining. People across the globe, thank you for listening, man. Thank you for thank you for subscribing and everything, man. I really appreciate it. Hubs Huddle is on iTunes, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, a whole bunch of platforms I'm on, man. Push come to shove, you can always Google me, Google Hubs Huddle Podcast. I'm going to pop up everywhere. If you're on Twitter, make sure you follow me on Twitter at Hubs Huddle. If you're on Instagram, make sure you follow me on Instagram at Hubs Huddle. Hit me up, send me a DM, whatever. I will respond. I am an active user on there. So, if I see you, shout me out. I got you 100%, man. You follow me, I follow back. And also on Facebook, I am, my page is Hubs Huddle as well. Make sure you check that out. So until next time, man, until next week, I'll holler at y'all later. Have a blessed night and be good to yourselves and others. Peace.